Welcome to the Defiance and Obedience Podcast, seeking to build strong men in the home and public square. And here's your hosts, Josh, the Second Amendment absolutist, and Ian, the conspiracy guy.
It's good to be back in the closet.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been so long that, I kind of had to remember what gear to get set up. And,
Yeah.
we're kind of making do with a couple things today, but
Yeah.
it works. Yeah. There's been a lot of things that have happened in between. And, first of all, I went on a trip to the East Coast with the school and along with my kids, older two came along. That was fun. This shirt is actually from, it says Gettysburg Farmhouse Restaurant.
Oh, right.
It was a pretty fun location. Family owns it. It's this big, originally it used to be some sort of like toy factory or something.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like something out of
Yeah.
a Christmas book or something. But,
Yeah.
and then now the downstairs is like a buffet style restaurant.
Okay.
Don't think, Golden Corral.
Yeah.
Definitely elevated above that. Like you walk through and you're like, oh, I don't know. I'll try some, roasted bass or some,
Man.
like.
I actually just heard of blackened catfish the other day. I was like, oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah, I think there was some catfish and,
man.
you could stand there and get your, whatever type of stir fry they'd mix right up there for you.
Right on.
All kinds of stuff. But they're now modifying the top part into like a 60 unit hotel.
Oh, wow. That'd be pretty cool.
So yeah, it was a pretty fun atmosphere. And, it's fun to go to all the historical places, but I'm like, I don't really want to wear a shirt that says like, I don't know, any of these famous locations. It's fine. Like, and a lot of people got merch from there, and that's great.
Yeah.
But it's just not something that I would like.
Yeah.
Want to rep necessarily. It's like I want to know that I've been there.
I went to Gettysburg, and all I got was this T-shirt.
This T-shirt, yeah. No, but it was great. There was a lot of. Just to say that you've been to Gettysburg and seen
that would be
those,
awesome. For
those
sure.
locations, and we didn't spend that much time at any one place.
Yeah.
The way it was structured, but getting to go in and sit in the chamber, in the Senate, and see where things are deliberated, and
get the smell of the swamp on you.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually pretty funny because, we got to go in when they were in session, but there was like maybe 20 people down there.
Uh-huh.
And there was like random, I'm like, do you have to go up and say something? Because they're like, so-and-so of my constituents turned 18, and we just like to wish them a happy birthday. Like, what?
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody
Not
cares.
even that person.
Yeah.
Was it like a filibuster kind of a thing, or like?
I don't know.
Huh.
I'm like, I don't know why you're taking time to get up and say this.
Huh.
And then there was a lot of proceedings that, like, I don't know her title, but it's like like a secretary type person that's just reading these, not mandates, but just this person resigns and thanks thank them for the opportunity, and this person resigns and this person accepts, just has to be read even though there's no one there.
So nobody showed up. Like, this is the boring day.
Yeah. But I am glad to be done with security check lines.
Oh yeah,
just they want to give you a colonoscopy, and they some of the kids, I don't know what it was about their bodies, but when you go through and they might have a spot that they want to check out, like it'll illuminate on the chart, like on the image of yourself on their screen as orange. So like one time I didn't have anything in my pocket, but she's like, can we just take a look at that spot? I'm like, sure. And then I think it was Colin he walked through, and his whole body was colored.
Just
Like,
what in the world? He's like, oh, I was cold, so I wrapped my body in tin foil.
yeah, I don't know. Definitely the most strict one was walking in to, into the Capitol building.
Okay.
I mean, it was a long line, and we only got to go in because we got, I think we got in because we got the lady who was leading our group. She requested from her congressperson out of Florida. That's where she's from. Anyway, but there was like a longer list than even normal. Like zero aerosol, anything. No liquids of any kind. You know, empty your bottles. And you know they had dogs going up and down. Is definitely high security. So you have that, and then you have this guy breaking through the correspondence dinner.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, they just released some more footage of it.
That was interesting. Yeah. I was glad to see something a little bit more clear. But we should talk about that over a beer.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm just reading up on this. I'm really excited to try it out.
Yeah, so it's
not just because I haven't had a beer since the last time we recorded. But.
Yeah, so it's Montana Knife Company did a collab with. I mean, do you even call it a collab at that point? Because it's like they're just basically Anchorage Brewing Company brewed a beer for Montana Knife Company.
Yeah.
And it's a little in terms of ABV. It's a little session IPA. But sometimes the session IPAs can be the most floral.
Yeah. So I was just reading on the label. It talked about having aroma hops, spelled AHHHROMA, Luminosa, and Strata. And so those are kind of, I didn't know anything about aroma. So that's what I was like, okay, that's kind of rare that I read about a hop that I haven't heard of. It's a new one. Came out in 22 and is from Montana. So that might be, maybe they sealed them up in an envelope and sent them their way.
Yeah, it looks like they don't know how to spell. Like with the...
I got stuck on the H.
Yeah. Ingredients: water, hops, malt, yeast.
I mean,
boom.
Oh man, that's that is, man, that's like a grapefruit orange juice, which is IPA kind of, but it's a very clean flavor in spite of being a hazy.
Yeah,
does that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I smelled it, I first thought orange juice.
Yeah, it's crisp, like a Czech beer.
Pilsner.
Yeah, like that kind of just dry, clean. I'm impressed. That's good. I've noticed since not like for me, orange juice, beer, those are like desserts now. So I'm not having them. And so like I had orange juice recently and I was like, oh my goodness, like I didn't realize it was that sugary. And so this is like the non-sugared version of orange juice.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, and my guess is that they did, this type of collaboration because they just opened their giant facility.
Yeah, I actually really wanted to go for that because I think wasn't it just a week before spring break that they opened it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I want to say so. I knew very little about them until we went to Montana and stopped at Andy Stump's Black Rifle shop and saw them in there. I was like, dang, those are really good looking knives. A lot of them have like orange scales on the handles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it just looked like really good quality. I'd started hearing about them before we went there. This was 4 years ago or so. And then so I started paying attention after that. And it's really cool. Started up in this guy's garage and he wanted to grow it smart. And so he stayed. I think he ended up building a shop on his property,
Mm-hmm.
and then this was their first off property, building. And I've been just kind of tracking along as they're doing it, and seems like just a really cool guy. I think his name's Josh, so that probably explains a lot.
Yeah, I think it's Josh Smith.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's got a really cool backstory.
yeah. So lineman making like knives on the side.
Well, yes, eventually, but I mean, he was making knives since he was a kid.
Yeah,
and became a expert.
one of the younger ones.
Bladesmith?
Yeah,
Or
Master Bladesmith, I think.
Yeah, it's at least close.
Yeah.
But yeah, he started. He would do like commission works. And so there's a really cool interview with him and Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe had him on the podcast, and they go into his backstory, and he talks about how he ended up building a sword for a sheik.
Yeah.
Flew.
Yeah, he wasn't just building like, knives for hunting and all that. He was building like, these collectors
Commission
high
works,
end. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we were in last year in La Conner, there's a little knife / cigar / menswear shop.
Yeah.
And there were some knives in there that were like, whoa,
yeah,
you can pay a lot for a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, I know nothing about that.
Yeah. At that point, you're
world.
paying. I don't know. This is just my meager opinion, but it's like you're paying for somebody's time to build it more than you are buying like a knife that's.
Yeah, because at some point you reach this point where like, okay,
Yeah.
is this knife actually better than this other knife?
Yeah.
Well, better in what sense? Does it cut better? Probably not, but it is made out of like, some of them were made out of meteorite or something like that.
Yeah, meteorite with like mammoth tusk handles or
Or this one. I think they have one at Arlington Hardware that like the steel is from like the hull of a World War II ship or something.
Yeah.
So there's like, it's totally a collector's type.
Totally. Yeah.
There's history behind it.
I love that people can do that. I have no space in my brain for like I guess art would fit in this category where it's just something that you put on a wall and stare at. But like find something that is meant to be used and then not. I don't have a category in my brain for that.
Yeah, the only way I could see that is, for most things, is if it was like inheritance, you know, and like I really wanted it preserved. But even then, depending on what the thing was, I would really still want to use it.
Yeah, like we have a shotgun in the family that is it's made from a coil where it's wrapped around a steel bar, if I remember right, and then hammer forged. And so you look at it and you can see the steel coil. It's actually, and it's totally dangerous to shoot. Like, so obviously we don't, at this point you wouldn't want to shoot it, but like tell you if like great grandpa had a bring back trophy from, World War I or II, I'd be like, yeah, let's go get some ammo. Let's go check this thing out.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I was able to raid my grandpa's garage and came back with as much stuff as I could fit.
Right on.
So got
without strapping a kid to the roof.
Right. Yeah. Got some like old ball peen hammers, even some. It was just like a normal construction hammer, like lightweight finish hammer, but unlike any of the more modern ones that are just kind of like a more obtuse angle. This one, the tines on the back go like pretty precipitous drop off there. So there's more of an acute angle there, and it's just notably different, like looking. But just asking him about, like I was like digging through like drawers and stuff. Like it's just my grandpa's garage. The house and garage are from. He bought the lot back in, I think the 50s.
Okay.
And he said they didn't start building till they paid the lot off.
Oh wow.
And then they eventually built and moved there, and then they eventually did He said they did the addition because obviously they eventually had 5 kids, but they moved the garage in the back, and he said it enabled like my dad and his older brother. I guess they were constantly, doing engine work, lifting engines out of their vehicles and stuff, and wrenching on them. So it allowed to put an engine hoist up in the rafters.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, so I was digging stuff out and being like, what's this? You know what?
Yeah.
And he actually had a lot of like sheet metal working stuff.
Huh.
And I guess that was from his dad. Didn't sound like he did a lot of work with it necessarily. But like,
That's pretty cool.
it was some sort of a wooden mallet with a
Okay.
wooden head.
Yeah.
That was, I guess, used for like light sheet metal work.
Yeah.
And yeah, just some, various things that, well, like, I got this Leatherman, that I found in one of his toolboxes.
Oh, nice. Old slimmer ones. I don't know if they make that style.
Yeah. And it actually says Portland on it.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just, I know, I was actually surprised. I was like, oh, it's like more simple.
Yeah. Which really, like, those are the best. They get all these funky things on them now. It's just like, I don't use any of this.
Yeah. It's like almost gimmicky.
Yeah.
But USA, that's pretty cool to see on there.
Yep.
And I've never had a Leatherman. I've always had just a single blade. And I was like, you know what? There are plenty of times where a pair of pliers would be useful.
It just makes it nice. Yep.
So I've been carrying that around. Just add to the EDC, something with Grandpa's.
Yeah. It's fun looking at those old tools. I think it's like a great uncle that had, he was a furniture repairman. And so I think I've got 2 trunks of tools of his. And yeah, he's got like a old wooden hammer, but it's more like for just making something happen. It's more like a club, if I remember right. I haven't opened it up in a couple of years, but it's like it's got like a burl on one end, if I remember right, or a big knot or something, and so you can just really hammer away with it. And but he's got like an old Stanley automatic screwdriver, I think is what they called it. So it's literally like, you twist the little handle on it and it'll run a Phillips head up and down depending on how you twist the handle. And like I imagine like in late 1800s, early 1900s, that had to have been like having a 20 volt DeWalt or Milwaukee right now. Like
Sure.
And like all the steel on that, like I don't have a place to put it other than in my shed.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff has been sitting there for years and is not rusted. Whereas I'll have newer tools that will sit in there and they get rusty like in a year. So it's really interesting. I should pull them out again and take a look. But just a whole bunch of, some old Stanley scales. I don't know what he was using them for, but just for hanging and weighing stuff. A bunch of hammers, just some unique tools for furniture work that are pretty cool.
Yeah, probably the coolest thing I got was big 2-man saw. It's about 7 feet tall.
I don't know why. I just have a huge appreciation for those.
Yeah. I remember them. Not this one, but my grandma from my mother's side, she always had them like on the back hearth, the brick hearth behind the fireplace. But a lot of them didn't have like handles on them. This one,
had both handles.
Yeah, both handles.
Right on. That's cool.
And both steel handles, which
really
might have been a later addition because
maybe so.
But he said it was his grandpa's.
Oh wow!
So he's
Very
92. Cool. So his grandpa,
man,
that could have been
that's a while ago,
mid 1800s. I don't know.
Yeah, wow,
mid to late.
I think mine is from the late 1800s. I've got one. It has provisions for putting a second handle on it, but it's just got one wooden handle, and it cut down trees. Apparently, it cut down trees on the property, like way back in the day. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
one of the neighbors had it. She was moving her sister wanted it. She knew that her sister was going to sell it for drugs, so she gave it to us.
Oh, okay.
So
One of those siblings.
yeah, exactly.
I know what you're up to. I know your game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess more appreciation of old things. I mean, we had that episode last year
Yeah,
when I got my truck,
that's right.
which is now running again, which is cool.
It's good.
Just had to replace the starter.
Yeah. And was the starter not a solenoid or?
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, the solenoid was. I mean, when I looked at it, it was newer,
Okay.
and I'm like, the previous guy probably already replaced that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to, in the world of, guessing which parts to replace mechanic,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna take out the starter and start there. Well, good thing I took it out because it was missing half of his teeth.
That's
on
right.
on the starter.
That. Yeah.
So
Those are pretty easy to pull out too, right? Like 2 or 3 long bolts. And...
Yes. In terms of it only being a couple bolts, yes. But that third bolt in this on this series of Fords is like a blind bolt.
Oh, really?
So like, there's no way to get your head around there.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of on your back.
I hate that kind of stuff.
And it really, it needs to be the last bolt that you do,
Uh-huh.
just because it's on the top, so you don't, so it's
Yeah.
not hanging off. But then you're like supporting it.
And you have no idea when it's coming out.
Yeah,
really.
you don't know.
Like, sweet, I got 5 pounds hanging over my face.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not like I have like the optimal shop setup or whatever.
Exactly.
It's just, I have it. I think I might have had it on blocks or something.
Yeah.
But got it switched out and might have to do the flywheel at some point because it was a little.
Got some chips on it too.
Yeah, it was a little chamfered at spots. Not chipped, just like, you could tell where it went to the starter went to engage.
Yeah.
It just produced some chamfering, but I don't know, it's been firing up for now.
Yeah.
But that's a saga of an older vehicle.
Yeah.
But
man. we were talking about the 6th attempt on the president's life.
Yeah, there's just so much. I mean, there's so many things that have happened in the last while. I mean, I was commenting that Not the Bee is just having a heyday.
Oh yeah,
because there's just too many things to capture.
Yeah. Yeah. No slope roofs, but let's see. There was, I mean, it is interesting looking at the, you see the video, the more clear one just came out. I don't know if you saw the complete one where not to mention his name, but the attempted whatever.
Gunman?
Yeah, attempted gunman walks into a closet. And from some of the reports, it sounds like he had hidden away his little bag of guns in there. I don't know if that's the case or not, but he goes in, and there was a Secret Service or some sort of law enforcement officer that had a canine, and it actually followed the guy into the closet. Have you seen that?
Yes,
that clip?
yeah. I didn't know it was a closet, but yeah.
Yeah, a closet, or like it sounded like they said like a janitor's closet or something like that. And so the dog's like got his head, maybe his entire body in the closet or in the room or whatever, and the Secret Service agent or whatever is kind of looking into the closet, and then the dog becomes disinterested, and immediately the officer kind of takes a left away from the door, and as soon as he does, the guy comes barreling out to the right of the camera view and goes running down the hallway, and it seems like he starts bringing a shotgun up, and that's when I'm thoroughly impressed by the particular agent that's watching him come out, because he sees him running and I think sees the barrel coming up, and immediately he's got his gun out. I've looked at this particular part of the video probably 3 or 4 times, and I can maybe get an idea of when he gets hit. It's hard to tell, but he starts shooting right away. And a lot of people are giving him crap about, not hitting the target as close as he was or whatever, or potentially, shooting at other Secret Service agents there as he's trying to go for the target. But just imagine taking buckshot to your chest and not just immediately just going down for the pain. Like this guy did not seem to flinch, and is I think the only one that was firing shots. And
Yeah, well, that was a confusing part to me. Why were there not? I mean, when you see any kind of gun enter the space in a normal cop scenario,
yeah,
you got holes peppered through you.
I know. It to me that is mind-boggling, and yet the performance of this particular agent, I think, should not be questioned. I mean, I would have a lot of other things on my mind if I just took buckshot to the chest, and he manages to not shoot anybody, good or bad, which is like just it's impressive to me, even though like he did like cover a lot of his fellow agents, and trying to get somebody that's running at you and then past you, even if you haven't been shot,
Yeah.
like that kind of, you're always going to be behind the target. I bet you there was not a single bullet that went in front of him. I bet they were always behind him as he was tracking after the guy, because you just can't keep that the trajectory the guy had as he's running and then angling off. That's a very hard shot to take, even though he was probably at closest maybe 5 or 6 feet away.
Yeah.
And then it looked like there was another agent that was on the other side of the hallway that possibly took shots after he went past him. And it seems like, from what I hear, the bad guy took a fall after hitting part of the scanning equipment. Yeah, like hit his knee and it just took him out, and they dogpiled him. I heard from one of the reports of one of the agents just yesterday that this was not immediately next to the room where everything was taking place. It sounds like it was about 100 yards away, potentially. He said there's plenty of guns between there and that room where Trump and everybody was at.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like the reports of ineptitude are potentially not as bad as it seemed. The hotel, like so, a lot of people, like myself included, when I heard that the guy checked in, like he had to check those guns in at some point. And you know how
sounds like Las Vegas.
Yeah, it does, with less volume of firearms. But like,
Yeah,
if I think we should have all of our freedoms and all that kind of stuff. But I tell you, if the president is going to be in, the president and like a good chunk of his cabinet is going to be in a building, I don't actually have a problem with the Secret Service saying, "Hey, look, if you're going to stay here, we're just going to check your bags." Like, you know what? You're not going to have privacy today here. So if you don't like that, go somewhere else.
You don't have to stay here.
Yeah. Like there's places where you should not have random people coming through with firearms. And especially, this is the other big thing, is this is a public school teacher from California, like educated to be a public school teacher. This is like what the left epitomizes as being like their best.
Yeah.
And I think it is. I think that more and more people are on board with saying, look, I'm tired of having conversations and trying to talk people into some sense. This is what the left is now, is they are a bunch of murderers. They are people that want their opponents. They turn their opponents into enemies and want them dead. And so this is what
there is a common theme.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not. I don't hear of a lot of Democrats getting with their lives threatened. I mean,
yeah,
maybe there's, of course, there's nasty people on both sides.
yeah. I mean,
Not
if it is a Democrat that's getting threatened by a Republican, it's somebody that's claiming to be a Republican while they're an FBI agent trying to get other Republicans to do things.
I think I saw it was not the B, it was the B, saying, nation shocked that the Patriots weren't actually, patriots. Like when they had the, they had all the guys walking. I don't remember where they were marching a while ago, but they had, they had all the masks on, and they were
they all were dressed like feds.
Yeah,
like
totally.
they're wearing like khaki pants and blue windbreakers and hats and the balaclavas and all that, all dressed the same. They all looked like feds, and it was
way too uniform, way too organized, like
way too federal looking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you a picture, and you tell me who it is.
Oh man, no way. Is that Michael? I mean Michelle.
That's what all the comments said. But it's this lady. No connection, but it looks like Michelle or Michael Obama.
It's a man.
So this is the title or the headline. A Michigan woman is accused of keeping her sister-in-law locked in a basement for 2 years.
Wow.
With little food or water. Police said 58-year-old victim finally escaped, broke a nearby window for help, and was found suffering from malnourishment. Investigators reportedly discovered a mattress on the floor, a bucket for urine, and a locked basement door. Tasha Beeman, 48, has been charged with unlawful imprisonment, and a vulnerable adult abuse.
Wow. But
all the comments were talking about, like, is that Michael? Like, it looks ridiculously, the resemblance is striking to
that's pretty
Mikael.
Pretty funny that it's not the events, but the
right
similarities.
But that is great. Whenever you hear cases of abuse like that, you're just like,
oh yeah,
why do you hate people? Like, how can you hate someone so much?
Yeah,
that you're willing to like every day. Yeah. You're keeping this person.
Yeah, you hate, like, if you hate this person, just like don't be around them anymore. Don't trap them. Right. Like, I saw a body cam video recently where police show up on scene and somebody's like yelling, "Hey, look up there!" And there's this woman that's like right on the edge of the window, and you can see she's restrained and not able to get close to the second floor window. And it took significant effort for them to break in because all the doors were screwed shut, like all of them, and like all the way around the house. And then some of them were actually boarded over. So like the door's screwed shut, and then it has like plywood over it to keep you from getting in. They finally get in there, and she's literally chained around her neck like a dog, and then the chain goes to the floor, and it's like bolted into the floor, and the cop like finds a axe or a hammer or something, and he's like banging on this thing long enough, if I remember right, for the fire department or for somebody to get there with bolt cutters and cut her free. And her boyfriend had like captured her hours earlier in that day, like tricked her to come over after beating her like the previous week. He got out of jail, and says, "Hey, I'll pay you to come over and clean the house." She goes over to clean the house, and he captures her because she cheated on him. So I was just like, what in the world? Like, at that point, you just be like, all right, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And also, she looked like Methany. So, like...
Right.
Yeah. What are you keeping here, buddy?
Well, in other news, did you hear? They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
What? Not heard about this.
Oh. Well, have you not heard that before?
I don't think so.
Do you not know what I'm referencing?
I'm not.
It was, I think it was during the during the election, during the debate, somebody made a remix of Trump saying in the debate, they're eating the cats.
Oh, this
because
sounds familiar.
the Somali people in Minneapolis, I think it was, they're, they were eating. Yeah. There were reports that they were literally
dogs and cats were disappearing from neighborhoods. Yeah.
Let's see. Is this okay? YouTube is great because you get to sit through ads.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
This guy auto-tuning.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cat.
Okay, this is like
They're eating the
this
pets
is more like
of the people that live there.
there's another version.
They're eating the dog.
Anyway, this is unplanned, impromptu. I think this is the same thing. There was like a more hip hop version of it. That one was by The Kiffness is his name.
Oh man.
Gotta listen to ads, but anyway, there's this.
In
this is the
Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
You know what? I love that.
Seeing red, so don't push me. Ain't Donald Trump trying to grab him by the.
No, we're just making wonderful music, and
Right.
I had some fun with. We were supposed to send a selfie
Oh yeah.
the other day, so this was my selfie, and put on a suit and tie, and then I was like, you know what? Let's change the background,
There we go.
and then I was like, you know what? Let's have a warhog flying overhead,
Oh, there we go.
and then I was like, you know what? Let's be in the warhog.
Wow.
Yep. So Ethan and I were just having a blast with playing with this later. And I was like, you know what? Let's go crazy. Let's go Tarzan.
Oh wow. There you go.
So, yeah. Like, this is what AI is for, is
Yes.
dance monkey. Entertain us.
Well, I mentioned that because like a week and a half ago, Not the Bee had a headline. They're eating the cats. Italians up in arms after Nigerian migrant grills cat at playground.
Holy crap.
Yeah. He was literally grilling this cat that he just killed.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, this is what you get when you get mass migration
Yeah.
from third world countries, that you see cat, you eat cat,
Have you seen the one? I think it's actually. I saw something that it was made up, but it wouldn't surprise me if the facts of the matter are actually true. But it's people pooping on the beach, like from India. Have you seen this?
No.
I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you. Apparently, the couple who did it, like the wife is married to the husband. She looks, Scandinavian, and he's definitely looks like he's, from India. But she walks up behind him, and he's like squatting. It's blurred out, and she's like, "Excuse me, sir, why are you pooping on the beach?" And he's like, "It is my beach to poop." It is hilarious and also sad. I'm gonna have to see if I can find it because it's just ridiculous.
Well, what I just poured is so it's supposed to be therapist, but I think it was an SNL joke. As they made the SNL joke,
Yeah.
where if you split those two words apart, it's the rapist instead of therapist. And in this case, the
It actually has an unfortunate wrinkle.
the wrinkle in the wrapper.
Yep.
I actually transported this from California. I went to the location in Monterey and got to try several of their beers. And this one was a one that I saw in the store as well. It's a 10.4 Imperial IPA, so heavy in terms of ABV, unlike the other one. So this is more than double because the Montana Knife Company one was 4.0. This is 10.4. But it's got a really nice nose on it.
Oh yeah.
Really piney. Kind of reminds me of like Sierra Nevada Torpedo scent.
Oh yeah. That's don't say this one very often, but resiny. That definitely has more of that
Sticks to your mouth.
earthiness. Yeah.
Yep. It is from, I guess, Dust Bowl Brewing is out of Turlock, California.
Okay.
But the location I went to was in Monterey. I imagine Turlock isn't too far out. Oh yeah, it's a drive. Turlock is way inland, and it's south of Modesto. So my grandpa lives in Salinas, which is just inland from Monterey. So growing up, we would always go to Monterey just for the day and, out on the wharf and there's just fun to walk around and see the coastline.
This definitely reminds me of one of my old favorites, the original Ranger. That like it's not quite as hoppy, but it's that it is that more earthy hoppiness that I really really enjoyed from the original Ranger.
Yeah, because you're saying from Belgium. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have. I mean, I like the Rangers that they have now, but I've looked for the originals. Like, why did you get rid of the original? Like, that one was one. I think it was like somewhere in the 90s IBU rating. So, which you don't really see a whole lot anymore. Like, I don't know if it's just because our teeth all hurt from the bitterness or what.
I've heard a lot of hate recently for.
It seems like it's popped up again.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the jokes about the IPA guys turning their nose up at any other type of beer. I'm like, I don't know. I don't hear that a lot. I mean,
I miss it with having much less. I really enjoy having an IPA more than ever.
Yeah. Here's another not to be headline: French cops arrest Afghan migrant for raping sheep and goats on farms near Marseille. Marseille,
right?
Marseille, maybe. There you go. French. There you go, Marseille.
Who would have thought the redneck?
Right. But really, guy, like, is that a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I know through history it has been a thing, but I mean, even in William Bradford's diary, he mentions a guy that, and that it sounds like he came over from England, and apparently there was some sort of homosexual relationship in his past, and of course, so you one deviant sexual behavior leads to another, and then it like he actually lists out in his journal like 3 sheep, 1 goat, and then there was like a turkey or something in there. You're just like, I don't even know like the mechanics of that, but so they put all the animals to death and him, like the Bible says.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's it is. I was actually, I think yesterday, or no, it was this morning. There's a new channel I found called, I think, The Elephant in the Room. Have you seen that on YouTube?
I don't think so.
Definitely recommend it. The guy looks into all kinds of things that everybody wonders, and it's, politically incorrect to ask. So I don't remember even I think it might have been something related to homosexuality in history. And he kind of touched on some of the bestiality that went on. And it might have even been something else, which disturbs me to think that I've now heard talk of bestiality 3 times or 2 times in the last, so many hours. But one of the thing, I think one of the comments on that particular one was the gayest country in the world is Afghanistan. Not only are they known for bestiality, but I've heard of many soldiers talking about Man Love Thursdays and stuff like that, where it's just like they would catch guys with, and we're gonna have to put like some sort of a warning on this one more than usual. But yeah, catch guys with little kids and and how the American soldiers, if they could get away with it, would punish them. They couldn't always get away with it, or even when they did, they would get in trouble for it from the Americans. Like, hey, just it's a cultural thing. Let them do what they're doing. So there would be, some hell to pay if the American soldiers had anything to do with it. But it is disgusting, and it seems like when a culture deviates so far from God with what they do worship, that it allows them to devalue life so much more. And really, like, we can't be too high and mighty in our country. And this is not like some moral equivalency or anything like that, but we have fallen away so far from God in this country that we are one of the highest in child trafficking and CSAM use all over the internet. It is deplorable, and it needs repentance, big time.
Yeah, I mean, we're experiencing the clash of cultures. It's not just importing evil from other cultures; it's also within us. But there is also that, you said, some they say, well, it's a cultural thing. Well, actually, we say there is a God and He has a standard, and I don't care what your culture is.
Yeah,
we don't do that, And I think as more cultures are coming in, as we, we've already let in millions, that are not, undocumented or whatever, that are just setting up communities around, and that is going to have its own effect. Where, it makes sense that a neighborhood in Minneapolis, all of a sudden, you import people that have had this way of life for a long time, and now, what do you mean I can't this cat was roaming around, why can't I kill it and roast it?
It's such an interesting thing. Before coming to work at the school, I'd travel anywhere within 2 or 3 hours of here every day, and I hardly get outside of this area anymore. And we were north of Seattle by on a good day 45 minutes, on a better day an hour and a half.
right
But I was down in the Bothell area, and I've got no problem with like, I actually wonder if I should have more of a problem with having other cultures around. I'm not like, how do I say this without sounding racist?
I don't know.
Even against like whites in particular, like, I don't really care if what color my grandchildren are. What I do care about is if they're honoring God. So like, I'm not worried about that. But it was really an interesting thing to like go down to Bothell, and I was down in the Safeway parking lot, and I saw one white dude in a truck driving by, but it was all like Asian and Indian all around, and it was interesting.
I mean, that's kind of where you grew up, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was literally less than 10 minutes from where I grew up, and seeing I've been in enough homes from those cultures that I see like a difference in parenting that's just culturally going to be different. There's problems in every culture with parenting, but
there's things we inherit that are just whatever. Yeah, that's just how we do things.
Totally.
But
you see, so one of the things I've noticed is that there's like a different, and I can't put my finger on it, but there's a different priority in it. Like, it seems like, especially in Indian culture, and I'd really actually be interested with somebody that has more experience in this, but a lack of guidance on young children in Indian culture. And so as I was driving out of this parking lot, I look over and I hear like yelling, and I see, this Indian dad walking out with, I think, a boy and a girl, and the girl is probably about 9 or 10 years old, and she's losing her mind. Like, if I caught it at a certain point, I might have thought it was kidnapping. I was paying attention to it, and like the other kid was like, "Oh, this is what my sister's doing." That was younger, but she is throwing a tantrum like a toddler, stomping and just screaming, and it really seemed to be like she did not get something purchased for her for what she wanted. Like there was that kind of a thing, and you see the way that he's reacting to it, and there's no punishment. It's just like, I don't know what to do with you, child, kind of a thing. Like, this is what I have to deal with until you stop doing this. There was no.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's cultural. I think it's just. I think it's expressed in a different way. I mean, we have the same children. We just pacify them with a device or they're just lame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just whiny, but then when they're whiny, we just shove a screen in their face.
And this dad seemed lame. Like it was like, and again, I don't think that particular action on the child was the culture aspect of it. I think that there's something different the way that it's handled, where it's just kind of like I think in our culture, the American culture, it's just like wanting them to express themselves and oh well, we will talk them through this. Whereas it's a different sort of like that is a form of care in the American culture. It's a sinful and lazy type of care, but it's a different bent than the Indian culture. That's kind of like I'm not part of it. I've just witnessed it. It's just there's something that hits differently about it, where it's just like, well, this is how children are, and we just let them be this way. And instead of rescuing the child from that, like I was able to point out to my 7-year-old girl, like, hey, that's a great way not to act right there. Isn't that interesting? Like that girl's like older than you, and she's acting like she's younger than you, which with Nora is it's not too far away. Her tantrums are going to look different from that, but they are still going to be sinful tantrums.
Yeah, I think we like all the cultures have the same problem with the same sinful nature in the child.
Yeah,
and it is of course there's clashes of values and different things like that.
Yeah.
Different religions, a lot of times when you mesh all these cultures together. But, even I think in the Christian community, there is a lot of absentee fathers or fathers that aren't really helping their people get through the thing.
Uninvolved fathers, they're there. They're just not involved in that. Like, oh, that's the wife's decision to make. It's no, man. Like, this week I had the glorious experience of having a mother and a daughter here at the school. The mother encouraged the daughter to confront Nora on her the way she was treating her. And so we got to sit down in the headmaster's office with their teacher and have a fantastic conversation where my daughter was confronted for being selfish with her friendship. And it was such a blessing. Like, I love to be, like, for one, I think that the other little girl handled it well, that she talked with her mom about it, and that the mom also was like, hey, you need to talk to Nora about this. And so, it was embarrassing for Nora. She hated it. And it's been really good. And I don't think our problems are over with it.
Yeah.
But I love to be in a situation where, like, Nora and I had, after having that conversation, I brought her into my office and said, hey, that hurt, didn't it? That hurt a lot. And she was like, yeah. She's thinking like, Dad agrees. This was awful. And I'm like, and that was really good. That was really good that you have a friend that loves you enough to say things that are going to hurt you, knowing that it's for the good. And, that was hard for her 7-year-old mind to grasp, but it was exactly what she needed. And, to be able to be in an environment where the teacher's on board, the parents are on board. At that moment, the other little girl was heading the right direction. Like to have that blessing and knowing that, like, you've been like that for me. Hopefully I'm like that for you. Where we can say the things that hurt, and they hurt in the way that pushes us closer to God and glorifying Him. And that can go, that works in any culture.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what your color is or, where you're from, where you're born.
It does matter what religion you are.
It does absolutely matter. That doesn't work if you believe in a many-armed God or, a Muhammad or a Joseph Smith it doesn't work with anything else. It only works under Christ and under His salvation that changes us. It doesn't work with anything else. The value of life and relationship is not built into any other belief system than in the Christian religion.
Yeah. Yep. And I think, that's why we need to return to Christ, and we need to turn. I think our a lot of our laws and the constitutional principles that we're founded on, our nation is founded on, are rooted in truth of who God is, how He made the world, and not to say that every founder was a believer, but I think culturally, like the truth of the Bible permeated the culture and was more of an assumed understanding that, of course, there is a God. Not to say that everyone believed, but
that's a huge blessing on the culture is when there's even that assumption. We cannot make everybody believe in God or put all of their faith in God, and that's not even God's own design. There are people that He is designed to glorify Him that will not actually do it in a way that they are really excited about, but it's the way that they want.
yeah,
And so when we're in a culture where people just acknowledge that God is above all things, regardless of what they think, that there's a certain morality that comes from Scripture, from men that were influenced by God in a supernatural way, that living that way is just better for everybody. So you can live in a certain way that will honor God here on earth and in eternity, and not receive the benefit of that. That's the sad thing, but it's also the best thing for the entire culture and that community, that country that you're in. So you might not serve God in eternity as far as being in heaven and being one with Him, but you will serve His purpose one way or the other. And when you're in a culture that lives that way, you don't have people eating people's pets. You don't have weirdos involved in bestiality. You don't have people harming children and getting away with it. When a culture and a country honors God as being the only God, there is a blessing to that, whether they are in church every Sunday or running a business on Sunday or whatever.
yeah.
There's still going to be blessings that come from that.
Well, speaking of cultural values and stuff like that, I just saw on Not the Bee once again. DOJ publishes details of Biden admin's lengthy and purposeful discrimination against Christians. The Biden administration's policies regularly clashed with a Christian worldview and burdened traditional religious practices. These conflicts frequently arose over abortion, gender ideology, sexual orientation.
When they did they changed their Easter celebration to trans something or other.
Yeah, they pursued aggressive prosecutions against nonviolent pro-life demonstrators.
Yeah.
They monitored, the FBI monitored, investigated, tracked, and scrutinized traditional Catholics who had engaged in no criminal misconduct. The IRS investigated churches because of what their pastors preached, and Christian organizations because they applied biblical teachings to daily life. The Department of Education focused its enforcement against Christian universities, levying enormous fines that dwarfed the penalties for Larry Nassar's and Jerry Sandusky's sexual assaults. The HHS and DOJ scaled back on enforcement efforts to vindicate conscious rights, withdrawing a notice of violation against the University of Vermont Medical Center after it coerced a Christian nurse into participating in an abortion despite her religious objections. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah.
But there is a way to... I mean, and those are all things that are kind of happening behind the scenes in a way that are targeting individuals. But, like, you got the sense that, like, this administration hates Christians. You know, like, I don't have a lot of, facts that can back it up, but here's your facts. You know, like,
yep.
a couple years later.
It's interesting, like, when you're somebody that knows that there is a truth, like, a only truth, not,
many truths.
Yeah, many truths. You can see things that just add up and might not have all the facts, but when you live a life that is geared towards being true to the only truth, which is God's truth, it just clarifies a lot of things. And so you can see things, you can draw lines between different things. You can see that A matches 7, on the chart when you're trying to match all the numbers and the letters with the different things. You can see what, even though you don't have all the evidence, and then the evidence comes later on. I mean, I think probably several years ago we talked about, this might have even been either early on when we started or before, but remember the whole, what's the guys with the long beards that were duck hunters?
Oh, yeah.
Robertson. I can't remember. Duck something.
It was Duck Dynasty. Was
Duck
the
Dynasty.
thing.
Yeah, I think I've seen parts of some of the clips of some of those episodes since then. I wasn't paying attention to any of it, but I remember when that came out, and I was this was back when I was on Facebook and was having a conversation. I might have been with our good friend Lou about how I think I posited the idea, and I'm dumb. Okay, I'm not some brilliant guy, so I'm not. This is maybe just a win that I remember or something like that. But I just remember saying, I think that they actually started this whole TV show thinking that it would make fun of a bunch of redneck Christians, and there were several people that said, that's dumb. They would lose money if they thought that was the idea. And I said, that's the thing, is that's not their goal. Is actually they have an agenda, and this seems kind of more obvious now than ever. But at the time it wasn't as obvious. But I was like, I think their agenda is to discredit Christians and just make them look like the dumb rednecks. And I still have never seen a complete episode. I actually theologically disagree with the Robinsons, whatever the names are, on a lot of different things. They've got fantastic beards, maybe a little too long, but that's just me.
Well, the patriarch passed away, I think, last year.
I think so. Yeah. But it came out, I think, within months of me saying that. It came out that was actually, it was A&E, is that the channel?
So, yeah.
That was actually the reason that they started that show, was to discredit Christians as being a bunch of dumb rednecks, and they were shocked at how well it took off. And so, I had not seen the show. I just knew that this was kind of the agenda when that was not widely accepted as an idea. But when you just see truth and you just live a truthful life, I'm not perfect. I haven't got it all figured out.
But when you're also observant of human behavior and human patterns and things, it does. Not everyone's going to be this person, but I think everyone needs to flex their critical eye.
100%.
And like be not. You don't have to be cynical, but I think you can be discerning. And
I think there's a big difference between cynical and discerning, and that's because I struggle with not being cynical.
Right? Yeah, totally.
You don't know what that's like, but just let me tell you.
I don't. I wake up and think, man, rainbows and puppies.
I know that's it. Like you're just like rainbows and cooking puppies on the grill, is what.
Right. Well, it's been good to get back in the saddle, and we learned that about good old tools. We learned about how Josh thinks of Bothell and that people group, and
man, I love Bothell, and I not like not to like try to make a space for me in this whole thing, but like I had a fantastic customer right around the corner from that spot, and I was like, man, I hope I run into him, and he was an Indian guy, just like a fantastic family. I really enjoyed him, and I was like, man, I still have his phone number in my phone, but that'd be creepy to call him up. But like I don't have a problem with.
Did you have his actual name in your phone? Or
I do, yeah. Okay. Not my token Indian friend.
Just curious.
Yeah, I have you though as my if I needed a token Indian friend could pass.
Oh, okay. I'm fine being a stand-in.
That's right.
All right. Well, guys, there's plenty of ways to weld defiance and obedience. I mean, whether your daughter is, acting up in school, whether you are being a fool in your own ways, or whether the government is just, cramping your space in terms of what God has called you to, remain steadfast as the father or the churchman, whatever station that applies to. So, weld that defiance and obedience into one inseparable whole. We are, if you're local and you want some stickers or something, we got some stuff. We've got more stuff coming. So, we are also happy if you got guests that you think would be a good fit for the show. We got some ideas in the pipeline as well, but feel free to shoot those our way. And thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the last episode with Jubal. It was good to check in with him again.
Man, wow.
I think that was the last episode.
Yeah.
And we hope the best for his clinic and hope to keep plugging his stuff.
Yep.
Until next time.
See you then.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Defiance and Obedience podcast. Come back next time for another dose of constructive contrarianism, curious musings, and fatherhood direction.